Hey, modern math teacher. I'm excited to be here with you today because I have a really important question for you. I know a lot of you are wrestling with this question, and I want to know what you think. How can AI be used in education, in school, wherever, without completely killing student thinking? Right? Because I know for many of us, the first reaction to AI was not excitement. Okay. Me too. Same here, right? I mean, it was a big concern. Okay. We had concerns about cheating, about shortcuts, about students skipping the thinking altogether. And here we all are trying to implement problem solving, inquiry based thinking classrooms, and then AI comes along to ruin it, right? That's what a lot of us were thinking. And you know what, guys? Honestly, your concerns fully valid there, okay? But today I want to slow the conversation way down and get really clear about something that's important. AI itself is not the problem. It's just not. It's how we use it and why that really matters. Okay. So, I think a big part of why AI can feel so loaded is because math teachers already carry a lot of the responsibility around thinking. We fight for that productive struggle. We fight for reasoning and sense making. We fight to have our students explain their reasoning. Okay. So when a tool shows up that can instantly generate the answers, the explanations, the solutions, it feels like basically a direct threat to everything that we have been trying to build as teachers. Is it just me, or are any of you feeling that way too? Okay. So many of the early AI conversations definitely did not help. They sounded like, this is going to replace lesson planning. It's going to grade everything for you. This will write everything. Your students will never have to write an essay again. All of these things. And that framing immediately put teachers on the defensive. Okay. Because we don't want less thinking. We want better thinking. And we need to see this as a tool and an opportunity to enhance those things instead of replacing them. Okay. So, most of the horror stories around AI in education, I feel like are coming from one place, one thought. It's the fact that we're using AI as a thinking replacement instead of a thinking support. Okay. When AI is used in a variety of ways, like solve this problem, write an explanation, give me the answer. Of course, you guys, that is undermining the learning, right? If your students are just copy and pasting something into their favorite AI system, their favorite LLM, and getting an answer, that's doing all the thinking for them, right? That's not a flaw in the technology though, but that could be really a flaw in our instructional design. And that's the distinction that matters. Because guess what? AI is going to do what you ask it to do. But we need to teach our students and we need to work in a way where we are putting thinking first in the classroom and we're helping to get our students to not use AI that way. Okay? So here's the mindset shift that I think might change things for you. AI works best when it supports teacher thinking, not when it replaces student thinking. Okay, so we're thinking about this from two different lenses: teacher thinking, student thinking. Now, some of the most effective AI education tools are incredibly powerful behind the scenes. These are the tools that you use, or maybe you want to try out and use. And these are the kinds of tools that I teach about in my AI seminars with BER. Okay. These are the tools that help teachers anticipate misconceptions before class happens, generate multiple entry points for the same task, really get that rich differentiation in there, draft reflection questions that actually push the thinking or extension questions to challenge our students, and that help plan feedback stems instead of just like answers, right? Okay. Please notice what is missing from that list. AI is never going to be, or I'm not advocating it for it to be, teaching the lesson, explaining the math to students, or doing the thinking for them or you for that matter. Okay. It's helping you do the hardest parts of teaching more intentionally. And that's a big part of the real development of real AI literacy, right? Not just knowing what tools exist, but knowing how and when to use them responsibly. Okay. So, if you've listened to the episodes in the past month or so about what comes after the productive struggle, this is where AI can really actually fit in and help us beautifully, okay? Because we know that productive struggle requires thoughtful task design, anticipation of student thinking, well timed questions, planned feedback, right? AI can help support the planning side of that work if you, as the teacher, are using it as a tool. For example, you could throw into your favorite LLM, ChatGPT, or otherwise. What are three common misconceptions students might have with this activity? What questions could I ask instead of telling them the answer, right? Some of us are just newer at doing that. And we want to go in and fix and rescue the answer instead of trying to give feedback and rescue the thinking, right? If you listen to that episode, you know. And how could I rephrase this problem to lower the floor but keep the ceiling high? Okay. That's not replacing you and your expertise, it's amplifying it. It allows you, as the expert, to spend more time responding to students in the moment, not scrambling to invent these questions and activities and entry points on the fly. Okay. So there is a way that we can use AI responsibly in education in a way that protects student thinking, strengthens instructional design, and reduces teacher cognitive load. It's like a win-win-win scenario, you guys. Okay. Irresponsible AI use, of course, skips the sense making. It replaces explanations with just straight answers and removes productive struggle and all thought from our students. Okay. The tool isn't what determines the outcome, it's the intention behind using the tool that does. And that is exactly what we work on in my AI training with the Bureau of Education and Research. And I want to be very explicit about this. That is not a sit and get training. This is true make and take experience. If you're dedicating a day to learning about AI tools with me, we are spending that time actively using those tools to put things in place in your classroom the very next day. Okay. During the session, teachers are writing and refining AI prompts and actually using the activities they create in their classroom. They're designing lessons, they're designing tasks, they're creating reflection questions with supports. We are talking about differentiation and how we can use AI tools to make that streamlined and simpler so that the next day when you go back to your classroom, you can do that. Okay. You're going to leave with so many things that you are going to be able to use immediately. It is hands on, actionable work, not theory. I do not just sit there and talk at you. You know, I keep these episodes bite sized for a reason. There's a time and place to be talked to, and there is a time and a place to experience. Okay. And it is all about learning by experience. I'm going to be offering that training live one more time in March and for the last time in April. They are the last two times that I am going to be presenting this session with BER. I'm going to make sure to include the sign up link so you can join us live. I do not want you to miss it. But hey, if you cannot make the live training, I don't want the conversation to stop here. You can also download my Ultimate AI Tools for Math Teachers Guide, where I break down which tools are actually worth your time, how to use AI without overwhelming yourself, and practical classroom safe use cases. I'm going to include that link in our show notes as well. Okay, guys, here is your next step, and it's intentionally super low risk for you. Okay, this week, don't ask AI for answers. Okay, ask it to help you predict where your students might struggle, draft two reflection questions, and create feedback prompts instead of explanations. Okay. We want to be using AI to prepare for thinking, not replace it. When we do that on our end as teachers, we're better able to support our students in doing that and using that on their end as well. Okay. AI does not have to undermine good teaching, you guys. When we use it intentionally, it can actually protect the things that we care most about: the student thinking, that productive struggle, that reasoning and problem solving, that mindful learning. And that's the conversation that we really need to be having. All right, you guys, that's a wrap on this week. Until next time, I want you to keep the thinking forward, keep trying the AI tools, but keep in mind that you are the expert in the classroom, not the technology. All right, guys, until next time, keep it real.